How Lionel Scaloni has got the best out of Lionel Messi today. We're going to dive into all the tactics, the formations, the statistics, and work out how Scaloni has got the best out of the greatest player of all time. So Argentina in the World Cup have played a number of different shapes. 4-4-2s, 4-3-3s, 3-5-2, and I think a lot of credit's got to go to Scaloni getting the best out of Messi, but also balancing the team out. Previously, managers have struggled with getting the best out of Lionel Messi. Sometimes he doesn't give enough in a defensive sense, and other times they don't get him the ball enough. But I feel Scaloni has fixed both of those problems. So Argentina, in a basic sense, when they're either playing a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2, they will defend in this 4-4-2 structure, allowing Lionel Messi to really cheat in a defensive sense, with the rest of the 10 players on the pitch playing super aggressive to win the ball back and then to feed the GOAT. What it allows Messi to do is kind of recharge his batteries. At 35, playing as a trequartista, you want Lionel Messi to not do much defensive work and allow him to flourish when your team is in possession of the football. So Argentina under Scaloni have defended mainly in this 4-4-2 shape, if not playing with 3 centre-backs. What I like about this shape, first and foremost, is it allows Messi to arguably cheat on the counter-attack and stay high up the pitch. The other thing that I really enjoy is the aggression in central midfield. This Argentina side is almost like Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid. You think about all the great strikers that Simeone's had at Atletico, they all work super hard. But this is more about kind of 10 outfielders that are all Atletico Madrid-esque players, and then Messi just sitting in the counter-attacking position. Again, free to receive those balls to feet. So what I like about the setup is usually the strike partner playing with Lionel Messi, of course, has been Julian Alvarez at the tournament so far. Not only has he scored 4 goals, being the 3rd top scorer at the World Cup, but he's done a lot of defensive work and pressing off the ball. Here's a moment against Croatia in the semi-final where we see the aggression on not only the forward, but also in that midfield area, and how they win the ball back, and it allows them to transition. The big thing with the shape and the setup, not only is it compact, but it's aggressive, it's high up the pitch, it's playing with a high line, it's squeezing the play. It reflects a very good modern system. When the ball is moved to one side, the block will move over and vice versa, and it protects that central area. So just looking at this passing motion, of course, Croatia worked the ball to Kovacic in the number 6 position, in between the lines. This is usually a bit of a problem for a 4-4-2 shape. You don't want your lines to be broken. You've got to react in an aggressive manner, and that's exactly what Julian Alvarez does, pressurising Kovacic from behind, forcing Kovacic into one of the central midfielders. This time, left-sided central midfielder Enzo Fernandez makes the contact and forces Croatia back. But if you look at the overall structure, as you mentioned before, super, good high line, defensively very, very good to close the space that the opposition can play in again. The wide midfielders both tucking in to making the shape a little bit more compact. One of the centre mids dropping to a defensive midfield position, and one of them pressurising the ball. This is basically a perfect 4-4-2 structure. And again, Lionel Messi just sat high up the pitch, not putting much, of his work rate into pressing the football. Of course, he does it at times, but giving him an arrest, which is absolutely perfect for Messi. Of course, we've also seen Argentina, flip at around 60 minutes when they have a lead to basically moving to a 3-5-2, where we're likely to see the defensive midfielder brought off, Lisandro Martinez brought into a back 3, the midfield narrowing to a 3, and Tagliafico and Molina playing as wing-backs. Again, a super compact structure, aggressive in that central midfield area, even more aggressive at times, knowing that they've got 3 defenders at the back to kind of cover those spaces and those positions. Really allows Argentina to, again, sit a little bit deeper and play on the counter-attack, and then simply feed the ball to Lionel Messi, which I think is a massive benefit of this system, of this structure right now. And I think we can kind of see how well defined the structure is from an average position perspective from the game against Croatia. You can clearly see the kind of 4-4-2 setup there. The back 4 made of Molina, Christian Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico, and that narrow midfield 3, De Paul, McAllister, Enzo Fernandez and Paredes, and then the front 2, Lionel Messi and, of course, Alvarez. It just looks really good. The structure looks really, really good from a defensive perspective. But also, from an offensive perspective, Argentina also look fantastic. And it also gets the best out of Lionel Messi. He basically has a free role in the structure. So let's go back to that kind of base level 4-4-2 shape that Argentina start with. Paredes in defensive midfield, Enzo Fernandez, De Paul back out wide. So as soon as Argentina win the ball back, we see a number of things. Number one, Messi has the freedom to do what he wants. He can run in behind the defence, he can move laterally to the right wing, he can move left, he can move deep. Alvarez will always keep the depth of the opposition's backline, creating extra space for Messi to receive the ball, turn and get going. If you look at the progressive passes received for Argentina, Messi is number one, which is exactly what you want for this team. But also what we see in terms of the players getting in the close proximity of the front three, McAllister makes that move into number 10. De Paul also usually moves into that advanced area, but he will also pull wide and drop into deep positions. Paredes moves into number 6 position, and Enzo Fernandez becomes the false centre-back. Yes, a new tactical role that Scaloni himself has brought up. That's Enzo Fernandez moving into a back three as Tagliafico moves forward. We also have movement from the wing-backs. This creates a shape when Argentina have the ball that's kind of reminiscent of basically a 3-5-2. Both of the wing-backs high. De Paul in the inside right position, McAllister inside left, Paredes sitting in a defensive midfield position, and of course Enzo Fernandez dropping deep on the ball to get into this false centre-back position. And this tactical phrase is why I quite like the use of Argentina and how they kind of build to this attacking structure. As you can see right now, this is kind of the shape that we've just shown you. A little bit of a lopsided back three. Paredes as a defensive midfielder. Both McAllister and De Paul, making the forward motion to become receivers in between the lines. Messi dropping off. Julian Alvarez holding the, attacking depth of the side. Both wing-backs super high. But if we take a little bit of a look at kind of how they get into this position, how they get into this move, or how they get into this shape, should I say, the movement is very good. The movement is almost of a top European side, where we've got a lot of positional rotation. So here Argentina have got a settled possession shape, and we're just seeing how they move forward. First and foremost, we've got Enzo Fernandez at the top of the screen. Tagliafico highlighted, making that forward motion. What you actually see with Enzo is, at the start of this move, he moves away from the ball to create that kind of the time for Argentina to get into their sort of possession-based shape. What we'll see now is Enzo spin in and then spin out and become into a kind of a left-sided centre-back position to receive. As we mentioned previously, we've got our two inside channel players and we've got our two forwards with the two wing-backs wide. Moving forward, you can clearly see it highlighted from the 4-4-2 shape. We've got the left central midfielder, the DM in there, one of the centre-backs, left wing-back, right wing-back, both of the outside midfielders in the former midfield moving inside, and the two centre forwards. It's really good from Argentina. At this point, the ball goes wide to Enzo Fernandez in the shape, and we can clearly see that 3-5-2 shape, with basically you're looking at like an outside centre-back pushing up from a deeper position, getting on the ball. What this allows Argentina to do is play those line-breaking passes. Enzo's got the ball into the feet of McAllister. McAllister in turn could, turn if he's got no pressure on his back and then play it to Alvarez or Lionel Messi. But the shape is very, very good for progression of the football, hence getting Messi into the final third as much as possible. Messi, most assists, most goals, most shot-created actions, most chances created, most passes into the penalty area, second most through balls, second most dribbles completed. The idea of any shape that includes Lionel Messi at this point in his career is to get the ball to him as much in the final third. You don't want him receiving deep. You want him high up the pitch where he can really make that impact, when he can take Gvardiol on 1v1 in the channel and get that brilliant assist for Julian Alvarez. You want him higher up, but you want to be able to create a shape that allows easy progression, and we see that from Argentina in their attacking structure, using this false centre-back concept of Enzo Fernandez dropping to receive the ball deep. Enzo Fernandez is one of the best passers of the football in the Argentina squad. Only Otamendi's completed more passes at the World Cup than Enzo, and his ability to not only play those short passes, the balls into feet to Messi, switching to play and so forth, is a big reason why Argentina have been able to play. You also think from an opposition perspective, usually picking up the opposition in a slightly higher position. If you're looking for Enzo Fernandez, you could pressure in that, but because he's dropping into the back line in this back three, it gives him time and space on the football to get his head up and to really kind of control the tempo of the game. And that allows, again, as I mentioned previously, it allows Messi to be high up the pitch. It allows him to get on the ball in those deeper areas. From a sort of positional perspective, we can see Enzo in a kind of halfway house in a sense, because at times, obviously, after they switch to the 3-5-2, move to more of a traditional defensive midfield position. But you can have a look by his average positions that he spends quite a lot of time in that left centre-back position and the right centre-back position. In a possession basis. You know, the two clips we've seen there, Argentina basically on halfway with the ball. You can see Enzo getting in there as well as being kind of high in areas. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic against Croatia. 42 passes completed, one big chance created, 2 out of 2 of his long balls, won 4 out of his 6 tackles. A brilliant central midfielder. And that also, you know, we looked previously, McAllister, again, inside left player. We've got Rodrigo de Paul, inside right player. All the heat maps are basically telling us these stories and this kind of tactical side. And Messi very much patrolling that number 10 area, but also receiving on the right, as we mentioned, but then stretching the defence as well. Goal and assist against Croatia, basically unplayable. And Julian Alvarez holding the depth of the team. We've seen this through the World Cup. But again, we've seen other shapes against the Netherlands. They matched the back three, went 3-5-2, but we had a similar kind of setup on the ball. You know, 3-5-2 to a 3-5-2 attacking shape is very similar. It's easy to transition into, but I do like that they do go from that 4-4-2 to a similar shape. At times it was kind of a 3-4-1-2 with McAllister as more of a number 10 in this match. And then finally, obviously, we've seen a 4-3-3 as well, more of a traditional 4-3-3 with, Alvarez, Messi and Papu Gomez playing quite narrow, but the similar types of moves that we see with Enzo dropping into the back line to get on the ball and then playing high, inside right for De Paul, inside left for McAllister, allowing Messi to have a free role. And that is the key, the crucial part of this. You've got to create a system in possession to be able to get the ball to Lionel Messi and allow him to have the freedom, because he's breaking records after record after record. 8 assists in the World Cup, which is the joint most of any player, the same as the great Diego Maradona, but also most goals for Argentina now in World Cups with 11, which is just absolutely sublime. You know, this player is the greatest of all time, and I think, you know, the system that we're seeing at the World Cup is arguably perfect to get the best out of him. And Messi has played in 5 World Cups so far, which is just an absolute joke. And arguably this is the biggest chance that he's going to get to win it. And I think you've got to give credit to Scaloni and his tactics, the defensive setup as well, to give Messi no pressure. And to be able to chill a little bit off the ball, then create the system that allows them to play through and get it to Messi. It's just absolutely perfect. Free roll Lionel Messi. Gonna win the World Cup. Simple as you like. Guys, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you've hit that subscribe button. We've got loads of videos coming out over the transfer window in January, looking at all the team analysis as the Premier League returns, but also some more World Cup content. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon. Check out SofaScore as well. That's where we're looking at all these brilliant average positions. I've been Statman Dave. See you later.